And we are live.
We are.
Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto episode 256. Today is Wednesday, September 26th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish. 10-ish.
Okay, what is going on? Dan the Man 03, New Legacy, Crypto Head. It's pretty funny, Crypto Head. Blockchain Shuja. Welcome back to the live show.
What's going on, boss?
Vivian Samuels, Bruno. Good morning, Bruno. Sergeant Crypto. Hello.
Oh yeah.
All right, for these free Satoshis yesterday, who won?
Oh yeah. So the winner of the free Satoshis is Leroy Forbes. Thank you for your comment. I believe he's a repeat winner. Can't remember, but thank you for your comment.
a couple times before.
Oh yeah, definitely active on the comment side of the game. His answer in response to our question, what exactly should the process be for governments to tax Bitcoin? And his answer was great. Basically, it says they have no hand in the development. They didn't produce it, so you don't get a share of it at all.
Right. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
Finished it with a big F out of here. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's honestly what it boils down to is if you don't have a hand in development.
You didn't invest in it? You didn't develop it?
You didn't make it. You don't maintain it. You don't have insurance for it. And you don't allow U.S. citizens to buy it freely through your bank. So what are you even involved for? So, yeah, thank you for that comment. We'll be sending those free Satoshis. Leroy Forbes.
Thank you, Leroy.
Thank you.
The government sounds like, was it Al Capone on them? I don't know. It was like, I don't care if nickelbacks are being sold in the park. I want in. Like, that's our government right now. They're like, man. I don't care if you selling penny candies on the corner. I want
that piece.
In. I want a piece of it.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Real gangsters.
Right. Shout out as well to BTC Bitcoin Pro. One of our crypto warriors, awesome guy. He's one of the ones who gave us that signed football from the LA Rams out here. But you know, he had a chance to meet up with Tour de Crypto yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yep,
yesterday, the day before. He tweeted out, posted. We retweeted as well. But you know, that's what's awesome about this community. Literally on the other side of the coast. You know, we talked about Tour de Crypto the other day. They left from New York, the Hamptons in New York. They're coming down to Huntington Beach again. Should be arriving in November, but you know, we said all the crypto warriors, hey, if they come through your city on the way, make sure you link up with them. And BTC Pro had the opportunity to go meet with them. I guess they had lunch, had a chat. Of course, they talked crypto and all that. Took a group picture.
Oh yeah.
But that's awesome, people. Like that's the type of support everyone needs in this community and industry as we're getting started. Because you see what we're up against. We're up against governments.
Oh yeah.
All right, so it's awesome to see. Everyone stick together and then have that community feel to it, no matter what side of the coast you're on, where you're at in America or around the world. There's people that, hey, you talk crypto, they're down to listen and help out with what you're doing. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. And it's good that this community is forming now because I'm telling you, when it gets too big, you're gonna wish it was smaller.
It won't be fun.
Because I wish it was smaller from when it was before.
December 2017.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, 2000. I think 2016 crypto was perfect. It was just small enough. It's just a little bit of people knew. And then now more people come, but that's the industry. It's got to happen. Right. It's got to grow. So
shout out BTC Pro again and all the warriors who's out there putting in that community work. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin Hammond. Shout out to Dustin Hammond. We love giving shout outs to people who catch us live for the first time. Looks like Dustin has caught us live for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your support there as well. What's going on, Crypto Tide, Tessa? Everybody
on Facebook, appreciate you joining in.
For sure. Facebook, what's going on? I never look at the Facebook camera. I need to start turning more. At 45, look at you all. All right, let's get going. Some good stories came out today finally after, you know, a slow week and a half, 2 weeks of slow news cycles. Top story, of course, is Coinbase. A new Coinbase listing process will allow exchange to rapidly increase supported assets.
Oh, yeah, they get a half clap.
There we go. All right. Yeah, a little off-beat clap. Give them an off-beat clap.
Yeah,
they don't deserve it. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has announced a new process that would allow it to list more digital assets faster. I really don't believe that, but whatever. According to a statement published September 25th, Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with Coinbase in this new listing process? How's this working?
Well, this has been one of the biggest talks in the crypto community right now. Coinbase is the biggest exchange out right now. And basically what they're doing is instead of internally deciding which coins they want to even look at before they decide which ones to list, they're basically giving all digital assets a chance to apply using their Google Doc that they made available. And it should be interesting to see what people put, because the process is literally what's the name of your coin, what does your coin do in one sentence. I'm sure BitConnect will probably try and make a comeback. They'll try to sneak back in through there. But it's been great so far, seeing all of the excitement around it, because basically what Coinbase, I think, is aiming for is all these digital assets who want to have regulatory framework and don't want to have to deal with a lot of the back end stuff that Coinbase has already built. They're telling you exactly what you need in order to be listed, and then once you're listed, they don't have to deal. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to deal with the law and the regulation stuff anymore, because you'll apply to Coinbase, and the top, I'd probably say 0.1% of coins will get in, and the rest that don't. I wonder if there'll be a process where if you can't get out of the Coinbase, are you truly a real cryptocurrency?
That's a slippery slope.
If they enter that space, that's a big thing, because they can, I mean, at some point they can basically market themselves that, hey, if you get listed on Coinbase, this is a legit coin. If you don't, it's harder, you know, for you to succeed. So we'll see how this goes, but Coinbase is the biggest in the world. They have the most money to get this going. So it'll be interesting to see which ones get listed. I'm looking at a few right now. People keep yelling XRP and Ripple getting listed. If they don't get listed after this, when they can just apply, it's a security, people. Let it go, and it's
honestly, for things like Ripple, I mean, stop shenanigans. Create your own exchange.
Yeah.
The Ripple exchange. Have a fiat to Ripple, you know, banking contract going, and just do Ripple on his own exchange. I think that would work. But Carlos, I'm with you. I prefer Gemini as well.
Yeah,
you know, I really
uphold.
I get this whole Mark Zuckerberg feel from Brian Armstrong. All right, it just doesn't sit well with me. So yeah, I'm with that. Blockchain Souza said CZ not about to let this fly.
Oh yeah,
I don't believe that either. So
hey man, if Brian Armstrong has to meet with Senate and he doesn't blink for the entire 2 hours, then we might have another robot on our hands.
Right,
so it might be similar to Facebook. We'll see.
I want to know what his partner's up to. We need to. I know we know someone who knows his partner. He went to school right around the corner.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, I know he left. I want to know what he's doing now. Let's get him in here.
Yeah.
Let's get him in here.
This might be the reason he left.
Right. You know what? We need to work on that. Somebody find his partner. He went to Duke right around the corner from us. We need to get him on an interview. Yeah. Let's get the tell-all going.
Absolutely.
Well, shout out to Coinbase. Hey, again, we don't like everything you all are doing, but as a business, of course, they're pipe swinging, and then you know, for the community in general, they are bringing adoption, people. So it is what it is.
Oh, and I do want to remind people. Some people were mistaken. They thought it was just a free listing, like you just sign up and if they like it, it goes. No, you still have to pay for this listing.
Oh, you're still gonna pay a little $10 million.
Yeah, and additional fee to list approved assets. So yes, they will still have to pay that fee. I don't know if it'll be $1 million a piece like Binance, but like we said, the reason they were doing that is because that was a money grab. That was like everybody's trying to get listed. Cool, you got $1 million? Cool, come on. So yeah, if people tell you it's free to list, that's not true. You still have to pay something. So.
We still want the money.
Still got to get the money.
Another huge story today. Circle Internet Financial launches stablecoin USD coin. We have been calling this for a while.
Oh, man.
And props to Circle. And I'll tell you why, from a business standpoint, do you understand what they're doing by naming it a USD coin? That's the same as, say, a private bank and a private group of bankers saying, let's name our private bank the Federal Reserve, so ordinary people can think it's actually a public nationalized bank owned by the people, when in fact it's owned by a private group of people.
Yep.
Same thing to Circle. Shout out to them again. All these stable coins are popping up left and right. Every big institution that can afford it will do one. Honestly, it's a big business move right now because first mover's advantage. A lot of the market is uneducated. They don't understand it. They're just going to see big names attached to these things. But I think Circle's doing the same thing as the bankers in the Federal Reserve did. They're literally just saying, hey, it's not illegal right now to list it as USD coin. I guarantee after we get about 2 or 3 more of these, though, the dollar coin, United States coin, eventually they'll ban it. But, hey, first through the door, they got it.
Yeah, they got to get it. And I think Circle is smart in doing this simply because most people who trade in crypto, the steps it takes to trade if you're new is a little convoluted. But if you have $1,000, so to say, you have to buy Bitcoin and then buy an altcoin if you wanted to buy it from there, and then you have to cash it out into Bitcoin and then the USD if you want to do it from there. So with a stable coin, you can basically $1,000 1-to-1, the same as having it on their platform. They have about $3 billion in investment, so they do have the funds to back it up.
I was just about to say that is the positive thing with them.
And I think Tether was good as far as showing what not to do.
Right.
They were a little too private, and people had questions about it as far as the market goes, but I can tell you this right now. If you think Tether had a lot to do with the pump in Bitcoin price, think about a stable coin from Gemini Circle, and you have
big money coming in.
Yeah, and True
big
USD.
money coming in.
So if you think Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is dead, I can guarantee you there's no reason they raise millions of dollars for a stable coin to stop trading. Trust me, they're trying to make trading easier, onboard process a lot easier, and to keep their customers basically keep their funds in their wallet, because that actually helps their business look better. That's why Coinbase has the cash aspect of it. You can put in there and then keep it on Coinbase.
Right.
So they can show, hey, we got $10 billion worth of people on Coinbase right now, even though you can take it off at any time. So stable coins, man.
John Siebert said, my stable coin is Bitcoin. I'm with you, because at the end of the day, with these stable coins, definitely agree with Bitcoin's as far as if somebody's going to do it with Circle, who's backed by Goldman or Sachs or whatever, of course, they have the money to actually make a real stable coin. But the problem with the stable coin is this, people. It goes back to it being a centralized monetary system. What happens if 3 or 4 people and the executives of Circle say, hey, let's do a big access scam? We got hacked. I don't know what happened to all your money.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But as far as the trading part of it goes, it's definitely a positive. To kind of give you a little bit more information, it looks like a consortium called Center, which includes Bitmain Technologies among its members, will act as a platform for deposits and fiat conversions for the stablecoin. Bloomberg notes that although Centra is a wholly owned subsidiary of Circle, there are plans to turn it into an independent organization. So again, if this stablecoin launches, it does well, and then on the back end they say, hey, quietly we're going to actually form another independent organization that owns this. Again, if they were to exit scam or something were to happen, there is no recourse at all. So something to think about. But again, I love the name, the USDC. They're calling it the USD coin,
or as Paul calls it here, the US Dookie coin.
Too funny. I love it.
This is one of those things. It's more the same, and we'll see how stable coins do, because there's a lot out there. We actually put one in our latest newsletter that we just dropped yesterday. It was one of those things where it's called True USD. It'll be listed on Binance and some of the other smaller exchanges. But people are looking for an easier way to trade without having to go through the 3 or 4 step process it takes. And this is a way to do it, but it's only just a bridge to where crypto's supposed to be at, where it's pure crypto to crypto transactions and you're making your money that way. So it's good to see development, but yeah, this is another thing from Circle, backed by Goldman Sachs,
right?
Who has nothing to do with cryptocurrency.
Trust that if you don't trust anything else. Just that statement. I guess speaking of development, though, Australian blockchain test on Amazon cloud reaches 30,000 transactions per second.
Word up.
A blockchain system developed by Australia's National Science Agency and Sydney University claims to have set a benchmark of 30,000 transactions per second during a test on Amazon cloud, according to their press release yesterday, Tuesday, September 25th. It looks like the tech arm of this corporation, I haven't said this acronym, people, their acronym for their name is CSIRO, C0, I guess. The technology arm is C0, Data 61, and the Concurrent Systems Research Group at the University of Sydney created Red Belly Blockchain as a graduate from C0's pre-accelerated program on Prime. All right. First of all, I want to point out something we probably don't talk enough about. If, again, we talk about learning the code or cybersecurity, something in this space as far as the tech side goes, it's never too late. Also want to give a shout out to Amazon Web Services, AWS. If you don't know about it, look it up, learn to use it. This is the future, people. For those who don't know, Amazon has actually been making a lot of their money on this the last 5 to 10 years, and so much that they actually use their own servers on their own cloud infrastructure. So
got to prove it works.
Yeah, you got to prove it works. So it is a multi-billion-dollar system. It takes time to learn. Let's just say that. If you ever look at it, I mean, they literally have like 100 links on one of their pages. Oh yeah. And each one has links and links and links to learn. But Amazon Web Services, check it out. But so this group is saying that they could do 30,000 transactions per second from different locations, showing an average transaction delay of 3 seconds. What's going on with this Red Belly blockchain?
Oh yeah, well, 2 things. First, congrats on the
congratulations,
the increase in the transactions. However, like we've always stated, if you have a blockchain without a cryptocurrency,
is it real?
It is a little different because 30,000 transactions, according to how they've done it on the blockchain using their cloud server, basically means that if they wanted to send data, they could do it at that rate. However, when you talk about cryptocurrencies, it doesn't include proof of work, so that's one thing. So you don't have miners. and you know, it doesn't increase the energy consumption. However, that is one of the things you want to use in order to create a currency. That's fundamental to how Bitcoin works. And Amazon Web Services in the future, I believe, will be probably the predominant way that people use it, use blockchains, just because AWS is awesome.
It makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's in the cloud that is insured, so to say, and it is backed up by their security. So if you wanted to, as a developer, develop a blockchain, I would say I definitely use AWS as the server if you wanted to go the cloud route. However, it is going to take some time for it to be applied to a cryptocurrency. So, I mean, it's good news, but
we're years out. We're years out.
Yeah, I would say but it's going to take some time. Don't get too excited. But this is great to see, because this is how you catch up with the Visas and the MasterCards of the world. So
right, and to give you all kind of an idea of what Bitcoin, some of these other cryptos do, Bitcoin infrastructure normally scales up to 8 transactions per second. According to this article in Cointelegraph as well, they're saying it's according to blockchain statistics for September, Ethereum blockchain is capable up to 15 transactions per second. And they said they're going to try to do 500. But the thing to remember about both of these, first of all, when they say Ethereum can do 15 transactions per second, so they don't have the same amount of people on the network. And again, that kind of goes back to what they developed in Australia as Bitcoins. They said you're not actually using it with the real blockchain, a live one. You're not using it with different amounts. Maybe somebody wants to do a $1 transaction. Maybe somebody's doing $1 million transaction. Maybe somebody's doing $10,000 transaction. And again, in different locations. This kind of was like a centralized location as well. So it's a lot of
a lot of kinks to work out.
Yeah, a lot of kinks to work out. But again, it's good that they showed it. And of course, everyone's trying to chase the Visa benchmark, because right now Visa does have some of the fastest transactions per second. Truly is the fastest settlement per second, which matters most. Not the transactions, the settlement time on it. But again, it's good to see that they're working on it. Eventually, somebody will, take their work and build upon it more. So,
if somebody asks, how are developers able to increase the transactions per second when building a blockchain? Well, one of the biggest things is the weight of the transactions, and also the speed is actually increased when you don't have to go through proof of work. When you have to go through proof of work, a miner has to mine that block, and then that block has to be included in order for you to use that transaction. So that's why you don't have instant transactions on all Bitcoin transactions. Maybe a few, but not all. But this one doesn't have proof of work. It's not using energy, and it was a centralized test. It was their servers in a certain location, because decentralization means it's everywhere. That means that the times are different,
and different speeds, different internet speeds, different upload speeds, download speeds.
Yeah, so that is a way that they were able to build it with faster transactions.
But shout out to them though. Seriously, it's still good to see it again. This is stuff where now you don't have to do all that work, where you can say, all right, we know somebody out there who's done at least this part of the project to get us to 30,000 regardless. Let me input what they have and figure out how to tweak it so we can make it work for our crypto or our blockchain, whatever we're doing. So,
good news out of Australia.
Yeah, what's going on, Malik Howard? Good morning. Good morning. All right, we're going around the world today. Next story up: Japanese regulator grants SBI Ripple Asia a payments license for blockchain-based app.
Sure, you did.
Right.
Of course.
Exactly. I mean, this story is just one of the things where it's just showing you the business side of everything. We're not highlighting this for Ripple. I mean, congrats to them again, a great business move. But we're highlighting this story because, this is when you have a truly decentralized currency like Bitcoin. You don't have anybody to push forward this stuff, because all these people who are getting licenses and regulations and all this, you don't even need it. All this stuff already works for Bitcoin. The apps are there, the network's there. But since nobody's pushing for it and granted, you're not seeing these headlines.
And what the hell is a electronic settlement agency service provider?
They're basically saying, oh, so you're the new PayPal. We're going to give you a fake license. You're going to pay us, and you're allowed to operate in our area.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. Yeah, what is it called? An electronic settlement agency? Yeah, this is.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many red flags in the story. Whenever they use distributed ledger technology, go ahead and close that article. That's just a key from here on out. If you see the word distributed ledger technology, just close the article. It's some corporate, who knows? I don't know what SBI is really doing. But it is funny to see from a business standpoint. They just said yesterday they're coming out with the S-Coin, which is retail purchases with users' phones.
Right.
And to settle those actual movements, it looks like they're partnering with Ripple. However, who cares, man? I mean, honestly. This is one of those things.
Again, it's kind of looking like just another way of control. It's literally just another way of control. You're going to have your own S coin. You're going to use, again, I know a lot of people do like the protocol Ripple uses. Was it Interledger protocol, whatever?
Oh, man.
But in general, they're doing this for control. Because if not, you could just use the Bitcoin blockchain. That's what we keep going back to. And of course, we're not just Bitcoin maximalists or anything like that. There'll be other tokens and blockchains that do great things. Some that are out there. But in this instance, it's just one of those things where it's just like, hey, we get it. We get the game.
Yeah, but whenever there's great things that's created, it's always bastardized by people. They can keep doing what you're doing, Ripple, SBI, whatever you're doing. They've only started 2017, so who knows exactly what they got going on. But that's for the banks to worry about, not for me.
Right. And next up, French stock market watchdog blacklist. You all know how much I hate that word. I usually say whitelist, but to be fair, we'll just say red list. French stock market watchdog red list 21 cryptocurrency and crypto assets websites. French stock market regulator, the Autorité des marchés financiers. Do everybody likes my Como talez-vous, Papa
Don't want to hear me speak French.
AMF announced it is red listing 21 new investment websites, including multiple crypto-related sites, September 26. The AMF characterizes the new additions as, quote, unauthorized websites, whatever that means, since you need to be authorized to have a website now, that offer, quote, atypical investments. Again, so you can't be against the grain in French. You got to do it just like everybody else. And directs users to its existing red list, which it notes is not comprehensive. Again, people, it's one of the things where government's going crazy. First, I mean, it's they're characterizing it as an atypical investment, as if something wrong with it, and then saying it's an unauthorized website. It's the internet.
Yeah.
No one owns it. Stop trying to own it.
Yeah.
I don't care if all 21 of those sites deserve to be red listed. I don't care if there are 21 different BitConnects and OneCoins wrapped up on steroids. So what? It's an open market. Word will get around, or people need to do their due diligence. But for you to come in and say, well, you can't have this website or you can't have this type of investment. Again, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I mean, where does it end? Where does it stop? First is just the sites there's actually, people or groups of people doing negative things like the BitConnects or the OneCoins. And then it turns into, well, you support this political party. Then it turns to you support this country or this group of people. Slippery slope. So definitely not down with that one.
And in the ICO market, which is basically what they're trying to control.
Of course.
every ICO has a leader or a CEO or a CTO or whatever that's running the company, so they can literally target ICOs if they want to with these, atypical website bans. So that's one of the things in the ICO world that you have to look out for. If you're going to do an ICO, whether you're in France, whether you're in America, whether you're wherever, from a legal standpoint, you got to have that in order before you even start. So most of these companies on their end, they probably just thought, hey, it's a free market, and they got showed otherwise. Like, no, not really. And if you've been in crypto long enough, you really see what it means when we say that you are restricted from anything you could do as far as being financially sovereign or trying to create your own investment vehicle. Because we love the ICO model. It's just, a lot of them with trash products. But the ability to invest in any ICO you want anywhere in the world.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I mean, just because you made $250,000, there's a lot of idiots with $250,000. And there's a lot of smart people with less than 5. So it doesn't matter how much money you have to be an accredited investor. ICOs are good, in my opinion, with the proper, investment knowledge from people. But France, slippery slope right here.
I want to point this out. France's AMF has just this month, so in September of 2018, France's AMF has received new legal powers. So in 2018, you just get brand new legal powers on a Wednesday morning.
You just email them to themselves.
Right.
Bro.
They got new legal. And again, I'm not involved in France politics or business, but just seeing how the regulators work here, who is voting on these things? I don't get it, but they received their new legal powers to grant licenses to companies that run ICOs. The country's finance minister, again, just the fact that the finance minister is talking, people, the person who controls the money of your country is getting these new legal powers to grant licenses. Wake up. Anyway, the country's finance minister, Bruno Le Maire, said he hopes that the new said he hopes that the legal framework for ICOs in France will, quote, attract investors from all over the world. No, actually, it's going to push investors from all over the world away. I don't understand what you all don't get about that.
Yeah.
Under the new rules, prior to any token issuance, a company must apply to the AMF for a license and provide the agency with detailed information pertaining to the offer and issuer. The measures are designed to provide additional guarantees for ICOs, which the AMF had previously considered to be rife with risk for investors.
Yeah.
All right.
That is Pepe Le Pew.
Right. A couple things, people. To go through the government, to go through bureaucracy and red tape, especially in a brand new market, innovative market like this, where first mover advantage is so big, you are already setting any company back who wants to do an ICO, or not even a company, because a kid can do, a 15-year-old can do an ICO. Anyone who wants to do an ICO, you're setting them back at least 4 to 6 weeks minimum, just for the paperwork to go through. That is, we've already seen what happened in 4 to 6 weeks in this market.
Yeah.
That could literally kill a business. Second thing is, they want you to do this license stuff. How much money is this going to cost?
Yep.
Just going off of some of the government licenses you need here in the United States to do some of this stuff. The license itself may be between $15,000 to $20,000.
It'll be a pretty penny.
You're not going to know how to fill out that paperwork on your own, or get the paperwork, or talk to the who's who if you need to. So you're going to have a competent lawyer. Again, we're talking 20, 25K. So just to get a license on the low end, you're looking at 6 weeks and $50,000. That does not sound inviting to new people in business, to entrepreneurs, to the youth, to young people who are actually utilizing this technology. What that does sound like is a way for more criminals to get involved in ICOs, because you know who does have a lot of cash on hand? It's criminals.
Yeah.
Criminals have a way to literally overnight say, well, we need 300K. We can do that.
Got you. Yeah.
We just rob this bank real quick. Go to HSBC, work with Jamie Donald Diamond, work with Coinbase, do a little pump and dump scheme. But criminals can get that type of money. So again, it's one of those things where this industry had no barriers to entry, which was a good thing. You need to do your own homework. But now, not only are they making it different barriers to entry, they're making them extremely difficult to achieve.
More hurdles.
They're making these hurdles like 10 feet, and they're still telling you to jump it the normal way and don't cheat or do anything else. So
but
it's disheartening.
I like Tariq where he said 4 to 6 weeks in crypto might as well be 4 to 6 years in the stock market.
Right.
Absolutely. That's what we're saying. This market moves so fast that if you're held back by something as arbitrary as a license that they just created out of thin air.
They create a license on Wednesday and you have to use it.
The finance minister literally like emailed his staff or something, was like, yeah, I got this license I'm working on. Here's a PDF. Y'all like it? All right, cool. This is what it is. Who's going to tell them no? So, I don't know French politics that well. And as far as the crypto market, it's still pretty early. So we'll see if they scale it back a bit, but that's how it goes.
If you want a real trade-off for these licenses, the United States included, let's make it a one-page thing.
Yeah.
It should be no longer than one page you need to fill out. It should cost $100 or something, whatever, a processing fee, and that'd be it. You don't need to consult lawyers on any of that stuff. You just need to fill it out, because, and here's the thing they don't tell you when it comes to these licenses, and I know this because I've done due diligence to look these up, people. You have to do your own due diligence when you file a license. And if you submit it wrong, they might tell you submitted it wrong, or they might not, and usually they won't, because right now it's being saturated. It's too many people filling out these licenses. So
they'll get you on the back end.
That's why you need to have a lawyer, because if you do it, it's wrong. Now, I will give props to California State, because up until, I would say, before last summer, 2016, 2017, you could actually call the office of the state and talk to all the right people in the right position, because it weren't many people doing ICOs in 2016 or early 2017. So I will give a shout out to California State. I got on the phone with a few of the lawyers for the state, some of the regulators, and literally talked to them because they were talking me through different licensing and things. And I'm telling you, it was extremely difficult then before the regulations started kicking in. So I can only imagine how it is now. It's not going to be a fun thing.
Oh, yeah. And we got some new rules for people who not to trust. John Siebert has added a few more. Don't trust people who don't blink. And anybody named Bruno. I
haven't met a Bruno I can trust. That's true.
Yeah, I was say I think the rules before was don't trust dudes with ponytails, or dudes named Chauncey. But we added some new rules. People you can't trust.
You do got to be careful, guys. Ponytails. Something about it. Too funny.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kenya. Speaking of distributed ledger technology, DLT and AI task force chairman calls on government to tokenize economy.
Man, Kenya's killing it, man.
Right?
I can tell you that right now.
Kenya distributed ledgers. You're right. You just can't trust that word. It just sounds bad, though. Kenya distributed ledgers and artificial intelligence task force chairman Bitang Nadimo, excuse me, has said that the government should tokenize the economy. Local news outlet The Star reported September 25th. What's your thought on tokenizing their economy?
Oh, yeah. Well, going along with one of our commenters, Ish, the tokenization of everything is coming. And this is just one example. There are countries right now who are doing everything in their power to tokenize their economy in some way, form, or fashion. Kenya is one of the best examples of that. If you haven't heard about Kenya, they use BitPesa in order to transfer funds. They have M-Pesa, which is their national currency. They're so used to using their phone. Some of the people I met at the Black Blockchain Summit, everybody uses their phone. Pay for a cab ride, pay for a coffee, pay for regular stuff. That moving Bitcoin and tokenizing other assets won't be that hard. This is one of the best countries right now as far as blockchain development. And they actually stay here. The chairman actually says we must begin to tokenize the economy by giving incentives to young people to do things which they are paid through tokens that can be converted to fiat currency. Let's give them a hand clap for that. That is the exact statement.
I love that, though.
Everybody should be looking at it. It's like, okay, we got this whole new economy coming. We have a group full of focused and hungry, 15 to 35-year-olds basically in the young group era who are going to go towards this technology. So why don't we make it easier for them to do it and get rewarded for it? If you create a great product, you can tokenize it and people use it. Why not get those rewards? Sort of in the shape of how they get points and coupons now. Those tokens can be traded on the open market and maybe can make you a nice profit just for using a certain product. So shout out to Kenya for that. This is how you should look at the new economy, or you're going to get left behind. And the countries that think like this are going to be ahead. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, they're going to have so much development at that point. People will have to use blockchain or have to use certain tokens to access the economy. Right. So thank you for that, Kenya.
Yeah, thank you, Kenya.
I'm glad to see where it's going from there.
Again, it makes no sense but to do it this way.
Yeah.
You remember how hard parents used to fight against video games? Is it even fun?
Yeah.
In fact, after this past summer, I saw a lot of stories talking about the new Fortnite game and how parents were like just angry, upset, or the kids was playing all the time. It was like, well, here's a thought: go play it with them.
Yeah.
If you literally invest in the game, so you know what I mean. It's like a new game comes out where half the youth around the entire planet is playing it, and everyone wants to protest it basically or push back against it. It's like,
or even further back than that, you know that they actually had a congressional meeting about how kids were affected by comic books in the 70s. Goodness. Now every single comic book is the biggest movie that's come out now 30, 40 years later.
True. Making billions of dollars.
So what does that sound like? Oh yeah, let's try and ban this because the kids about to get their hands on it, and then it's $1 billion industry later. We've seen comic books. We've seen
let's talk about your hoodie right now. Death Row Records. Rap. They wanted to push rap out.
I mean, they were stepping on CDs outside of concerts trying to get people, and I was like, you stupid, you bought it. But yeah, it's one of those things where it doesn't work.
It's funny, right?
Yeah, it's funny because it does not work. If you try and keep young people from developing whatever's coming next, they're only going to push harder, and they're going to push you out the way. Because I'm sure all of those people that were railing against comic books back in the day are laughing or crying right now while Stan Lee is laughing to the bank with a $1 billion movie every time he comes out. So with Bitcoin, 20, 30 years from now, everybody who's in it now, people that are watching us, people that are in the industry will be laughing at these old geezers and dinosaurs who think that the next economy coming needs to include them, but it can't change. Like, come on, dude.
Mentally old, too. We're not even talking about the age. We're just talking about mentally.
Yeah, there's a lot of 70-year-old, 20-year-olds.
That is very true, especially in L.A. They be out here, boy. Ferrari'd out, music up.
Exactly, yep.
All right, for the free Satoshis, what are we doing today?
Oh, yeah. So, for the free Satoshis, we'll keep it going with Kenya and their great tokenize the economy stance. What other countries would you like to see make an announcement that they're tokenizing their economy? Who has the infrastructure? Whether it's an African country, European, North American, let us know. Put your public address and we'll send those free Satoshis.
There we go. Sounds good. All right. As always, have a happy hump day, people. We appreciate all the support. Make sure you smash that like and share. If you listen to us on the podcast, we would appreciate if you give us a review. I think even though it's only on iTunes. But yeah, thank you for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
Appreciate you. Oh, big shout out to Scrabble, adding Bitcoin as a word.
What? Did it really?
I just got that.
Nice.
I just remembered that actually. But Scrabble's added Bitcoin. If I was playing somebody in Scrabble, I would have been using it anyway.
I've been using a bunch of words never heard of.
It took a couple other, was it 2 years? It was in the dictionary 2 years ago.
Nice.
But now it's on Scrabble, so that means it's official,
real.
people.
It is real.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was real when the squiggly lines went off Microsoft Word, because if you were old enough to remember
they do it for blockchain still.
Yeah, for blockchain still.
Which is crazy.
Bitcoin and cryptocurrency had the squiggly lines for years.
Yeah,
on
blockchain
Word.
isn't even real on Word. Bitcoin is, people. Come on.
But now it's official with Scrabble, so shout out to them.
Shout out to Scrabble. All right. Hey, everybody have a happy Wednesday, happy hump day. And we will see you all tomorrow at 10-ish.
At 10-ish.
Cheers.
Have a good one.